your English podcast.
Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're plunging into some interesting source material. It's basically notes and excerpts describing an episode from another podcast.
Yeah, it's called Your English Podcast.
Right. And these notes, they lay out a challenge that probably sounds really familiar to a lot of you listening.
Mm-hmm. It's all about trying to learn English, effectively, when your life is just packed.
Packed is a good word for it. Work commitments, home duties, and the source specifically mentions having young children involved. 2 small kids, I think.
That's right. And the hosts of that show, Alex and Nina, they apparently really zeroed in on the core problems they face themselves. Things like,
Wow.
a serious lack of time, just being constantly tired.
Oh, definitely fatigue. And also that fear, right? The
Yeah.
fear of making mistakes, especially when you feel like you have zero energy left.
Yeah, it's like you're battling the clock, but also just your own exhaustion levels. It's tough.
Okay, so that's the setup. Our mission here for this deep dive is to sort of unpack all that. We want to pull out the most practical, um, actionable strategies from these source notes.
Basically, how did Alex and Nina, facing these exact hurdles, how did they manage to actually integrate English learning?
Exactly. We're hunting for the tips and tricks that really worked, the stuff that you might be able to use.
And the source notes suggest they got quite personal about it, sharing that feeling of it being almost impossible when life gets demanding.
Yeah, Alex apparently talked about the stress and just being wiped out. Nina mentioned losing her learning rhythm, especially as a busy mom.
Mm-hmm. But it wasn't just about the problems. The notes show they quickly pivoted to solutions.
Right. What really seems to stand out, according to this source, is their focus on finding and using these little bursts of learning time. Mini sessions, I think they called them.
Yes, exactly. Nina, for instance, apparently carved out 5 or 10 minutes in the morning
Mhm.
before the kids were fully up and about, just for some audio practice.
And Alex mentioned using his commute, or even just a quick bit of a lunch break.
The notes actually use the term micro sessions too, but yeah, mini sessions, micro sessions. The main idea is these tiny pockets of time.
And they present these not as insignificant, but as like the key to making steady progress when you just don't have big chunks of free time.
Absolutely. It pushes back against that feeling of if I can't study for an hour, it's not worth it. That all or nothing trap the source mentioned.
Okay, so finding snippets of time is one thing. What else did the source highlight?
Well, it also really pushed using resources you can engage with more passively or sort of alongside other tasks.
So leaning into audio then. Podcasts like the one they were hosting, maybe audiobooks, music, news in English.
Yeah, stuff you can listen to while you're doing chores or commuting or cooking dinner.
It's about transforming that unavoidable time, that dead time, into a learning opportunity, isn't it?
Precisely. And then there was this other method the notes mentioned, which might sound a bit, unconventional.
Do tell.
The talking to yourself method.
Really? Like out loud?
Apparently so. Just practicing speaking, even if it's just narrating simple actions. The example given was I'm frying eggs and toasting bread. Simple stuff.
Huh. Okay, I can see how that might work. Keeps the language active in your head
Right.
without needing a conversation partner or scheduling practice time you just don't have.
Mm-hmm. And the source also touched on weaving English into family life, too.
How so? Like Simple games with the kids.
Yeah, or reading English books together, maybe even just changing the language settings on your phone or your computer. Little environmental tweaks.
Right, making it part of the fabric of your day, not just another big item on the to-do list.
Exactly. It's about lowering that barrier.
So, wrapping this up, what's the core message we're taking away from this deep dive into the source material? It seems really practical, actually, and kind of hopeful. Even tiny, consistent efforts, 5, 10, 15 minutes, they add up. They're way better than doing nothing.
Totally. And those strategies Alex and Nina discussed, the mini sessions, using audio, talking to yourself, leveraging tech, it's all about integration.
Integration into your existing routine, and also, crucially, accepting that mistakes are just part of learning. You can't let that stop you.
Yeah, if you connect the dots, the source really highlights that for super busy people, the aim isn't finding these perfect, quiet, hour-long study blocks. That's often just not realistic. It's much more about creatively embedding English into the chaos of everyday life, lowering the mental hurdle.
And the fact that hosts like Alex and Nina, who were living it, found ways. Well, it shows it can be done, right?
Yeah.
One small step after another.
Definitely gives you something to think about.
Okay, so that brings us to a final thought for you, the listener. If finding even, say, 5 or 10 minutes for focused study feels utterly impossible some days, and let's be real, those days happen, how could simply shifting your environment still contribute to your progress?
Think about it. Could just changing the language on your phone help? Or switching your usual music playlist or news source to an English one?
Does that passive exposure still count? Does it add up without feeling like another task on your already overflowing plate? Something to mull over